Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hey. 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 Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Rakshamam. Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Rakshamam. Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Pahimam. Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Pahimam. Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rakshamam. Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rakshamam. Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Pahimam. Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Pahimam. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Sing it.
Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare.
Please repeat. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So we heard about Krishna in Mathura. When Krishna appeared, he appeared in Mathura, in Kamsa's prison house. And then, as Manibai explained, Krishna was taken from Mathura to Gokula in the Vrindavan area. And the babies were exchanged. Yashoda gave birth to a girl, and the girl was exchanged with the boy Krishna. And Yashoda had given birth, she fell asleep. So she did not remember what or who she gave birth to. So when she woke up, she saw this beautiful blackish boy, and she said, "Oh, I have a son," which was unusual because Nanda Maharaj was older in years, and usually you don't get a son in your older age because your potency is less. So she was surprised. I've given birth to a son. this beautiful son. So up until 11 years, Yashoda only knows this is my son. Later, when Krishna comes back to Mathura to kill Kamsa, after killing Kamsa, Krishna was 11 years old. Then it was revealed. Vasudeva and Devaki met Nanda and Yashoda, and the whole thing was revealed. So from Mathura, Krishna then lived a life in the city known as Dwaraka. And Dwaraka is on the western side of India. And actually, the way it was constructed, it was actually an island by itself. Some people say they have discovered the bridge that was there 5,000 years ago. No, I have not been to Dwaraka. But I have heard that some people say they have found. Just like from NASA, they have an aerial picture and it shows from Lanka or Ceylon to India. It looks like there's some kind of bridge. We all know who made that bridge. That bridge was made by Hanuman and his monkey engineering corps. They made that bridge. So it's nice to hear these affirmations of our Vedic scriptures, that they're not fairy tales, that they're not mythology, but actually this is true history. So when Krishna was in Dwaraka, he manifested his opulence of renunciation by only marrying 16,108 wives. That's all. That's like a drop in the bucket. Because he's Ananta, he's unlimited. Even if he marries quadrillion wives, it's nothing. Because infinity is here, and, you know, the curve goes up, 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 straight up. So once upon a time, as all good stories begin, Krishna decided to visit this Mithila. And you say it's in Bihar. Say, I didn't know it was in Bihar. See, you taught me something. Thank you. So, Krishna had two very great devotees there in this city of Mithila. One was a Brahmana and one was the Kshatriya king. That's medicine. Don't touch. You could get very, very ill. You're young. You don't need medicine. I'm old. I need medicine. Okay. So, both the king and this Brahmana at the same time approached Krishna when he entered the city and said, "Oh, you please come to my house." So what's Krishna going to do? Because they both came at the same time. Same thing happened in Mahabharata. Krishna was taking a nap in Dwaraka. Duryodhana and Arjuna both came to him at the same time. And both were waiting for Krishna to wake up from his nap because they wanted to beg something from Krishna. So Duryodhana sat where Krishna's head was, and Arjuna sat at Krishna's feet. So when Krishna woke up, he saw Arjuna first. He didn't see Duryodhana. So the etiquette is, whoever arrives first, they get to ask their request. So Duryodhana said, "Hey, I came here before Arjuna. I should be the first one to beg the request." And Krishna said, "No, I saw Arjuna first. So what to do?" So as it turned out, Krishna satisfied both. Arjuna was given a choice, Krishna's army or Krishna, because this was just before the Kurukshetra war. So that was the choice, Krishna's army, which was in the millions, or Krishna. Arjuna, because he's Krishna's bhakta, he said, "I want you, Krishna." And Duryodhana was thinking, "Oh, this Arjuna is stupid." Duryodhana was thinking, calculating, I couldn't have asked for a better fool. So Duryodhana's thinking, now I've got Krishna's army, called the Narayanas, in the millions. So our Duryodhana was very happy. Thank you, Krishna. And he left thinking, now it's in the bag. I've won the election. I'm going to win the war. Because he also had his own army. But now he has this army from Krishna, Krishna's own army. And Arjuna, he was happy that he selected Krishna. And as we know, what happened? The determining factor on the battlefield was because Krishna was sitting, driving Arjuna's chariot. The determining factor, because there were so many incidents, but because Krishna was sitting on Arjuna's chariot, Arjuna was victorious. So both Brahmana Shrutadev and the king Bahulashva arrived when Krishna was there. So Krishna said what to do? Krishna expanded himself. So one Krishna went with Brahman Shrutadev, and one Krishna went with King Bahulashva, because Krishna can do that. I wish I could do that. As I'm here now, I could have another me going home and doing so much work that I have to do when I get back. We wish we could be like Krishna, expand ourselves. But it ain't going to happen. Like you kids, one kid could go to school and the other one could stay home and play games. Wouldn't you like that? Right? You could have one of you right now doing homework. Or you said you work for NASA? Yeah, so you could right now be doing overtime and you're here enjoying. Huh? Now, whether or not you could get 2 salaries, I don't know. That we'd have to see, especially with the new president. I don't know how it's going to work out. Anyway, so the Shrutadev, he was poor Brahmin. He was very simple, humble Brahmin. So all he had for Krishna was a straw mat, some simple chawal, some simple food. But because Shrutadev was great devotee and lover of Krishna, Krishna was very happy with his offering. And Shrutadev, they bathed Krishna's feet and they took the water and sprinkled it on everybody's head in the family. And Shrutadev was so happy that Krishna has come to my house. And the same with Bahulashva, he was the king. So he took care of Krishna very royally, very opulently. But also, this Bahulashva was pure devotee. So even though he may be king, but what is Krishna looking for? This is very important. Children, what does Krishna look for? He looks for your heart. Krishna looks at your heart. Same way, when Krishna went to the Kauravas to make a peace plan, Duryodhana made a big feast for Krishna. Said, you come to my palace. But Krishna knew Duryodhana's heart. And he knew that Duryodhana is simply a politician. He's not a bhakta. So Krishna was not impressed with this external show, very, very opulent food and very opulent palace. Krishna said, no, I have to decline your offer. I have another offer from my pure devotee, Vidura. And Vidura was low caste. Also, like Shrutadev, very simple. Dal and chawal. But Krishna relished that food at Vidura's house. Why? Because Vidura was a bhakta, a devotee. Duryodhana was not. He actually hated Krishna, as was revealed, because during that time of Krishna coming with the peace plan, Duryodhana actually tried to arrest Krishna and capture him. But Krishna, he showed his universal form and amazed everyone. And Dhritarashtra, for the first time in his life, got vision. This is the only time in his whole life Dhritarashtra got vision. He was able to see this universal form. Yes. And then after, when it all wound up, again, back to blindness. Krishna gave him that shot. Okay, here. Bing. So Bahulashva, he, in royal opulence, fed Krishna, but it was from the heart. This is something my wife always hammers with me. She always says, don't be caught up in externals. Krishna is looking at your heart. And I'm always grateful that you do that. You remind me of that because it's such an important item in bhakti that Krishna is looking for, as he says in his Bhagavad Gita, bhaktya mam, bhaktya. Patram pushpam palam dyoyam, yo me bhaktya prayachati, tadaham bhakti uparitam, ashnami, bhakti. Again, 3 times, bhakti, bhakti, bhakti. Krishna is only looking for our love and devotion. So Krishna took care of the Brahmin and the king at the same time by expanding. So now one more story. Story about Lord Shiva and Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. I want to hear the kids. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Now everybody. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So once upon a time, there was a big evil demon, Vrikasura. Vrikasura was so evil. And he was thinking, I have a desire. Who will fulfill my desire? Shiva. Because he is all powerful. And he knew that Shiva is Ashutosh. All the kids say? Very easily pleased. But the other side of the coin, very easily, yes. The door swings both ways. But he was just thinking, oh, he's so easy. He's easy. So Vrikasura decided, I will do a very severe penance and Shiva will come personally and bless me. So he lit a sacrificial fire and he bathed himself and he was wet. He didn't dry himself off. He bathed himself and he stayed wet. And so he was doing a homa and he started to cut flesh from his own body, swaha, as oblations. Can you imagine? We do homa, right? We use the rice and the, right? Not him. His own flesh. This is a demon doing horrible things to his own body. So he's doing it, but Shiva's not coming. He's thinking, wait a second. I am worshiping Lord Shiva. I am offering my own flesh and still he's not coming? Okay. I will cut off my own head and put it in the fire. So Lord Shiva, he finds out, oh, what a silly, this demon is so silly. Why? I'm easily satisfied. Shiva says, I'm easily satisfied. You all know. What do you offer Lord Shiva? Ganga Jal? Or you offer milk? And there's certain kind of fruit. You know that fruit that he likes? Yeah, there's certain kind of fruit he likes. So worshiping Lord Shiva is easy, simple. He doesn't require flesh. So out of compassion, Lord Shiva, when Vrikasura was about to cut off his head, Shiva appeared. Because that's the problem with the demon. The demon wants the God to come in front of him and give him blessing. Devotee doesn't need that. Devotee knows, I just worship Krishna. He doesn't have to come. He'll give the benediction. Draupadi was being disrobed. She simply prayed, Hey Govinda. Everybody say, Hey Govinda. And Krishna immediately reciprocated by supplying unlimited sari. Krishna's sari avatar. He kept supplying sari. They never got to see naked Draupadi because she was great devotee of Krishna. One of her names is Krishna. So she also had very darkish black complexion like Krishna. But she was great devotee, had full faith in Krishna. Sometimes the Pandavas had some doubts along the way, sometimes. But not Draupadi. She had full faith in Krishna. So when Vrikasura was about to cut off his own head, Lord Shiva came and he said, You rascal. What is it you want? Okay, you have satisfied me, but I've only come out of natural compassion. Just like anybody, you see some child crossing the street, a car is coming, you'll just naturally try to save. It's not that Shiva was blessing Vrikasura personally. He just, as out of natural compassion, had to stop him from cutting off his own head. So this rascal Vrikasura, he said to Lord Shiva, I want this benediction. I want a benediction that with my finger, who wants to help me? I need somebody to come. Okay, you come. Vrikasura said, come over here. Vrikasura, face the audience. Vrikasura said to Lord Shiva, I want the benediction that if I touch somebody's head, his head will crack open to 1,000 pieces. What a silly benediction. If you got Lord Shiva's darshan, you wouldn't ask for such a silly thing. Nobody would. But this is the problem with demons. They're less intelligent. They think they're smart. They think they're intelligent. You did a good job. Thank you very much. Let's give him a hand. Very good. If I need you again, I will call you. Be ready. Okay. All right. So what Lord Shiva has to do, he has to keep his word. He promised that he would give the benediction, even though it was a silly benediction. So Lord Shiva said, Tatastu, so be it. Now we see the real feature of this demon. What was his ulterior motive? He's thinking, ha 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 ha. Now I can kill Lord Shiva and take his wife, Parvati. So he said, now I'm going to test this benediction on you. Just see, what an ingrate. Lord Shiva gives him a benediction and then he wants to kill him. This is called ultra-terrorism. This is the original terrorism. Such a demoniac person. You get a benediction from somebody. Okay, now I'm going to kill you and take your wife. It's so horrible. So Lord Shiva knows, he gave the benediction. He knows it's infallible. Lord Shiva starts to run. He's looking for shelter because it's his own benediction. What's he going to do? Right? So he goes to various devatas. He goes to Indra and he says, I can't help you. It's your benediction. How? I'm not as powerful as you. Shiva goes to his father, Lord Brahma. Lord Brahma says, can't help you. So then Shiva goes and sees Vishnu. Okay, I need you. Come here, my son. So, you're going to be Vishnu. Okay, face the crowd. Okay, now you know how Vishnu stands? Can you do that? Yes. So he's Lord Vishnu. So Lord Shiva goes to Vishnu. Vishnu says, I know everything that's going on. Because Vishnu is in everyone's heart. He's in the heart of Lord Shiva. He knows everything. So Vishnu says, I will save you. Don't worry. You go hide. Vishnu then transforms himself to look like a young brahmachari. How old are you? Ah, perfect. He's a young, so here's Vishnu. Face them, not me. Vishnu makes himself look like a 7-year-old brahmachari student. He has the beads, he has the mala, he has the different symptoms of a brahmachari. Vrikasura comes. Where is that rascal Shiva? Okay, you can sit down now. You did good. Let's give him a hand. Very good. He gets an Oscar nomination for Best Supporting Role. Okay. So Lord Vishnu says, oh, I know you. I know your father. See how intelligent Vishnu is? He said, you have traveled a long distance. You must be very tired. Vishnu is so smart. Because he knows Vrikasura is a demon. A demon identifies with his body. And everybody, if you tell somebody, oh, you must be tired, immediately think, oh, yes, I'm tired. And by saying, I know your father, he calms Vrikasura down because he's angry. So Vishnu, by his potency, he has Shakti. He has this potency. He confuses Vrikasura. He becomes bewildered, just like a man. We become bewildered if we see a beautiful woman, do we not? Do we not, men? Don't, I know you're in front of your wives, but we all know if some beautiful woman comes, we become a little disturbed, and our wife has to go, hey, snap out of it. Yes. Oh, no, not me. So Vishnu has that power to bewilder. So Shakuni is a little bewildered now, and now he's calmed down a little bit. So Vrikasura says, yes, I'm very tired. So Vishnu says, so tell me what happened. And Vrikasura tells the whole story, and he goes, Lord Shiva? I wouldn't believe Lord Shiva. After all, recently he lost his wife. His wife gave up her body. So Lord Shiva, he's not in proper mind. And besides, I don't think Shiva has that power. Tell you what, why don't you put your finger on your own head, and when you see that Lord Shiva has cheated you, and your head doesn't crack open, then you can go and kill that Lord Shiva, because I have him, don't worry. So first test it, because I don't think Lord Shiva. So by this time, Vrikasura is completely bewildered. He goes, yeah, that's right. And he takes his finger, points it at his head, and his head cracks open. Lord Vishnu ki. So then Lord Shiva comes, he says, oh my Lord, thank you, thank you, thank you. So the relationship between Lord Shiva and Lord Krishna is actually intimate, because as I said at the beginning, Lord Shiva is always chanting the name of Ram, so he's a great confidential servant. We say in our Shastras, Vaishnavanam yata Shambhu. Of all the devotees of Vishnu, topmost, Lord Shiva, Mahavishnu. So we will end there. Everybody chant, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare. All right, everybody sings. Govinda Jaya Jaya, Gopala Jaya Jaya. Govinda Jaya Jaya, Gopala Jaya Jaya.
Govinda Jaya Jaya, Gopala Jaya Jaya.
Radha Ramana Hari, Govinda 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 Jaya Jaya.
Govinda Jaya Jaya, Gopala Jaya Jaya.
Govinda Jaya Jaya, Gopala Jaya Jaya.
Radha Ramana Hari, Govinda Jaya Jaya.
Radha Ramana Hari, Govinda Jaya Jaya.
Govinda Jaya Jaya, Gopala Jaya Jaya.
Govinda Jaya Jaya, Gopala Jaya Jaya.
Radha Ramana Hari, Govinda Jaya Jaya.
Hari, Govinda Jaya Jaya.
Govinda Jaya Jaya, Gopala Jaya Jaya.
Govinda Jaya Jaya, Gopala Jaya Jaya.
Radha Ramana Hari, Govinda Jaya Jaya. Govinda Jaya Jaya, Gopala Jaya Jaya.
Govinda Jaya Jaya, Gopala Jaya Jaya.
Radha Ramana Hari, Govinda Jaya Jaya.
Radha-Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya.
Govinda Jaya Jaya.
Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya.
Radha-Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya.
Radha-Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya.
Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya.
Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya.
Radha-Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya.
Radha-Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya.
Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya.
Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya.
Govinda Hari Gopala Hari.
Bolo Govinda Hari Gopala Hari.
Govinda Hari Gopala Hari.
Govinda Hari Gopala Hari.
Jaya Rama Hari Jaya Krishna 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 Hari.
Jai Rama Hari Jaya Krishna Hari.
Jaya Rama Hari Jaya Krishna Hari.
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Now we'll do the final prayer, the prayer of protection. This prayer is so important. I'm sure you all agree that we all need special protection. So this prayer is for you so that you have a good year. I want you all to have a fantastic year, and I want my wife to get a new job.
Good.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Prahlada Dayane
Prahlad Lad Dayane
Hiranyakashi Purvakshaha
Hiranyakashi Purvakshaha
Shilatankana Khalaye
Shilatankana Khalaye
Ito Nrasingha Parato Nrasingha
Ito Narasingh Parato Narsingha
Yato Yato Yamitato Nrasingha
Yato Yato Yamitato Narsingha
Bahir Nrasingha Hridaye Nrasingha
Bahir Narsingho Hridaye Narsingho
Narasingham Madim Sharanam Prapadye
Narasimhadim Sharanam Prapadye
Narasingham Madim Sharanam Prapadye
Narasimhadim Sharanam Prapadye
Narasingham Madim Sharanam Prapadye
Narasimhadim Sharanam Prapadye
Tavakara Kamala Vare Nakam Adabhuta Sringam Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanu Bringam
Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadish Hare Jai Jagadish Hare Jai Jagadish Hare
Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadish
Hare
Jai Jagadish Hare Jai Jagadish Hare Jai Jagadish Jai Jagadish Jai Jagadish Hare
Jai Jagadish Jai Jagadish Jai Jagadish Hare
Om 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 Jaya Jagadish Hare
Jaya Jagadish Jaya Jagadish
Jai Jagadish Jaya Jagadish
Jai Jagadish Hare
Om Jaya Jagadish Hare
Hari Haraye Namaha
Hari Haraye Namaha
Hari Haraye Namaha
Hari Haraye Namaha.
My dear Lord Krishna, please bless all these devotees who have come today. They have been here for quite some time. They have attentively and patiently heard your message. So I beg you, in their hearts, manifest yourself more in their hearts. Remove the doubts. Remove the things that are preventing them for being successful. Please give them knowledge. Please give them encouragement. Enlighten them. And please let them have one more good year of auspiciousness. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama,
Rama, Hare Hare.
Final words by Bhishma Pita.
Bhishma Pita, not Pitamba, you are right. Hari Bol everybody. I must say a couple of introductory lines about Prabhu Nirantar Das. He got such a beautiful name, just like many others got from the Guru. But many of others decided not to carry on with the meaning of their names. Prabhu Nirantar Das is the only one who decided, why not? Nirantar means continuing. Nirantar is a flow. Nirantar is the dynamism with which very few people continue. So our dear Nirantar Das, translated in English, is a devotee forever and forever and forever. Prabhu Nirantar Das is one of the original devotees of Srila Prabhupada, and he decided, even though he was trained in accountancy, finances, and so on, which he continued to do and perhaps still does occasionally, but his main stress is to bring Krishna consciousness to people who are not yet devotees. But if you have managed to listen even fragments of things that he said here and there, you know that it is coming from true heart. It is coming from within. No matter when you meet him, no matter where you catch him, he is in the same parivesh, same outfit, and same infit. When you talk to him, he is always smiling. Perhaps his dear wife Varuni has helped with it. So Prabhu Nirantar Das is just like a river flowing incessantly. Every drop of it flows in the river. Prabhu Nirantar Das, enriched with so much Krishna conscious education and training, he has espoused all of that now. He is Krishna conscious himself. He is a Krishna conscious incarnate. Any time you talk to him, any question you ask him, he always has very nice answers, very good answers. This morning he asked me where I was from, and I told you all, I mentioned Mithila, and immediately I saw that his ears popped up. And he said, okay, I will tell you a story about Mithila, how Krishna went to Mithila. And you all heard the story of Shruti Dev and Bahulashwa. Those days, names were given, like Duryodhan was given the name Duryodhan because he could fight very hard. Arjun, few people have cared to know the meaning of Arjun. Jun in Sanskrit means a rope. So a rope that can't be untangled. The rope maintains its prestige, its strength in remaining tangled, stranded properly, and so on. So Arjun was a person who could not be broken. You can try, but a big rope is not easy to break. So names were given like that at that time. Bahulashwa means a king who had a huge collection of horses. Bahul means a lot, very much. Ashwa means horses. In fact, one of our Upanishad, what is that? Aswatar? Shvetashwatar Upanishad, there also we have the word Ashwa is there. So Ashwa was very important animal at that time. Elephants are very slow. Horses can jump, run, do lots of things. So that king in Mithila had a lot of horses, and his name was Bahulashwa. Krishna obliged both of them. This story simply goes to show that he has such a wide perspective, broad perspective of this entire psyche, the entire devotional field that you can say, somewhere, somehow, all of us fit into that, either through old stories or through new efforts. He is the person who tries to inculcate, tries to bring that new energy into this whole thing. Our son Guddu decided about 2 months ago. I do not know when he talked to Prabhu Nirantar Das. Prabhu Nirantar Das used to see Guddu very little coming to the temple regularly when Pranjivan Prabhu and many others who were very, very, very important devotees at the temple, we used to take him, and that's when Nirantar Prabhu spotted him. I don't remember one time when he would not ask me about how the family, how his little boy. He's a grown-up man now. And they connected. And remembering from his own early days that however few times he came to the temple, some seeds were put into him, and the seeds are growing. This is what motivated him to bring the families who can benefit from little get-together. I mean, nothing very heavyweight was discussed today. For that, you may have to come to the temple. He would announce a topic, and he would follow that. Today, it was just in a very introductory way, bring Krishna into the consciousness of people at houses. This is a very small house, but I believe that Krishna has blessed it.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Thank you, Dad.
Thank you, Prabhu. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, everybody.
Jai Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivrajacharya Astotra Sattasi Srimad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnavani Ki Jai.
Jai.
Namacharya Haridas Thakur
Jai.
Prem Se Kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri
Sri
Advaita
Dvaita Gadadhar Sivasadi
Gaur
Gaur
Bhakta
Bhakta
Vrinda Ki Jai. Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gopinath Syama Kunda Radha Kundagiri Govardhan Ki Jai. Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Navadvip Dham Ki Jai. Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Tulsi Maharani Ki Jai. Vimuni Devi Ki Jai. Ganga Devi Ki Jai. Samabeta Bhakta Vrindi Ki Jai.
Haribol.
Thakur family Ki Jai.
Thank you,
Thakur
Haribol.
family friends Ki Jai.
Friends, Ki Jai.
I hope my only prayer is that we can do this once a year.
Oh, yes.
Haribol.
Did I pass the audition?
Oh, yes. I was telling him twice a year.
Oh, I love you. You get extra. Oh, you're the best. Oh, thank you, Krishna.
Haribol.
Yeah.
That age would
Yeah.
be very
They
impressionable.
love that.
Very
When they get older, they won't be so interested.
Yeah.
but
Money by, always a pleasure with your association. This program is finished. Now take prasad to your full satisfaction.
Okay.
Everything is good.